North Korea says Israeli attacks and U.S. military operation against Iran are illegal aggression. In Khamenei's absence, pragmatist Larijani emerges as power broker in Iran. Iran sets up interim leadership council, appoints Alireza Arafi as jurist member. Putin says the killing of Khamenei is cynical murder. Triumphalism and fatigue shape Israeli mood after joint US-Israel strikes on Iran. North Korea has condemned Israeli strikes on Iran and the US military operation, calling them an act of illegal aggression and a violation of national sovereignty, according to state media. A spokesperson for North Korea's foreign ministry said the US military action against Iran was within the range of expectations, describing it as an inevitable outcome of what the statement called Washington's hegemonic and gangster-like behavior. The remarks were reported on Sunday by the Korean Central News Agency. The statement said what it described as a war of aggression by the United States and Israel was unacceptable under any circumstances and urged regional countries and other stakeholders to take responsibility for restoring peace and stability in the Middle East. Meanwhile, Israel's military said on Sunday that it had launched a broad wave of strikes in central Tehran, following what it described as a large-scale Air Force operation. Israeli officials claimed the operation killed Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, a claim that has not been independently confirmed and has heightened fears of wider regional instability. Veteran Iranian politician Ali Larijani said on Sunday that a temporary leadership council would be formed following an airstrike that he said killed Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Larijani re-emerged last year as one of the most influential figures in Iran's security establishment, overseeing a wide-ranging portfolio that included nuclear negotiations, regional relations, and internal security matters. A long-time establishment insider from a prominent clerical family, Larijani had been managing Iran's efforts to revive a nuclear agreement with the United States, despite being sanctioned by Washington in January over allegations that he directed a violent crackdown on anti-government protests. Speaking on state television on Sunday, Larijani accused the United States and Israel of attempting to destabilize and dismantle Iran. He warned that any action by what he described as secessionist groups would be met with a harsh response. Iranian state broadcaster Iran TV also reported that Iran's Armed Forces Chief of Staff, Abdulrahim Mousavi, was killed in the strikes. Appointed in August as Secretary of the Supreme National Security Council, Larijani has held senior positions throughout his career, marked by loyalty to Khamenei and a reputation for maintaining pragmatic relations among Iran's often competing political factions. Senior cleric Alireza Arafi was appointed on Friday, the 1st of March, as the jurist member of Iran's Interim Leadership Council, according to the ISNA news agency. The council is tasked with carrying out the duties of Iran's supreme leader until the Assembly of Experts selects a successor. Arafi, who also serves on the Guardian Council, will join President Masoud Pezeshkian and Chief Justice Gholam Hossein Mohseni Ejei on the temporary body. His appointment follows reports that Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was killed in joint US and Israeli strikes, prompting calls for retaliation from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Iranian state television announced a 40-day national mourning period and declared 7 public holidays following the reported killing of the 86-year-old leader, who had been in power since 1989. The IRGC vowed to avenge Khamenei's death. Iranian media also reported that members of his family, including his daughter, son-in-law, and granddaughter, were killed in the same strikes. On Saturday, US President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu both said that Khamenei was dead. According to 2 US sources and another official familiar with the matter, Israel and the United States coordinated the timing of the strike to coincide with a meeting Khamenei was holding with senior advisors. Russian President Vladimir Putin on Friday, the 1st of March, condemned the killing of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, describing it as a, quote, cynical murder and a violation of international law and basic human morality. In a message sent to Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian and released by the Kremlin, Putin offered his condolences over the killing of Khamenei and members of his family. Putin said Khamenei would be remembered in Russia as an influential statesman who played a significant role in strengthening relations between Moscow and Tehran, and elevating them to what he described as a comprehensive strategic partnership. He expressed sympathy to Khamenei's family, the Iranian government, and the Iranian people. Iranian state media said Khamenei, aged 86, was killed in airstrikes carried out by Israel and the United States. Israel later said its air force had carried out further strikes on Tehran. Israelis reacted with a mix of resolve, routine, and concern on Saturday following joint Israeli and US strikes on Iran that resulted in the confirmed death of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and prompted retaliatory threats from Tehran. In Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, streets were relatively quiet, reflecting both the weekend and heightened security measures. Political analyst Ori Goldberg told Al Jazeera that the calm was not unusual. Many Israelis described a sense of familiarity shaped by years of conflict, with some saying a return to bomb shelters had become routine, and that daily life continued largely as normal. Opposition leader Yair Lapid struck a unifying tone, saying Israelis stood together in support of the military and the country's security institutions. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the operation was aimed at removing what he described as an existential threat posed by Iran. Goldberg said that among parts of Israel's political establishment there was a sense of triumph at having struck a long-standing adversary, while others expressed unease about the possibility of a prolonged and wider confrontation.